All right, ladies, come in close. We need to have a serious conversation. As a happiness researcher and a happiness enthusiast, one of the surprising statistics that I found throughout this study made me think and worry and need to have a conversation with you about what we found. Let me share a couple of statistics with you to set the framework for our conversation. First, 82% of men agree that they have a sense of purpose in their life. 73% of women say they have a sense of purpose in their life. A statistically significant difference, almost 10% difference between men and women. But that's not it. Let me share another set with you. 76% of men will state that they are overall happy in their lives. That number is only 66% for women. Again, a statistically significant difference. Now, I have hypotheses about why this is true, but there are actually a few factors that lead to men and women feeling differently about their sense of purpose and their overall happiness. First, men, statistically speaking, are more likely to be confident and also share positively about who they are and how they show up in the world. And women are more likely to be critical and maybe even lower themselves on some sort of scale because of the way that they see the world. Neither good nor bad, but that confidence is actually something that women could take a page from their playbook and note places where they could feel a stronger sense of purpose just by choosing in, or feeling happier just by owning their own confidence and strength. Number two, while there are some disparaging differences between male and female in educational spaces and in workplaces, we need to worry less about that and worry more about the things that we're doing to live our greatest passions. Because of the environment and the world that we live in, men are more likely to find and stay in one career, which means that they're going to find an interest or a passion or a professional path that helps drive them and fill that sense of purpose. A lot of women will find a job or an opportunity and they will look around to find something else. Now, that's not always the case, but it is one of the factors that the research shows us. And last, but certainly not least, in our effort to have equality in the workplace, opportunities to work, and advancement opportunities in both education and professional lives, we also are still taking on a number of the responsibilities. Now, this is not an excuse and an opportunity for us to say that men aren't helping or doing their part, because studies shown, while it's not in mine, studies shown that men are doing more of the household responsibilities, cooking, helping with the children, and general household errands and responsibilities than ever before. They're doing their part. And feminism is not about how women are better than men. Feminism is all about how we work together to accomplish our goals, how we use the strengths of each gender and each individual to bring about the purposes that need to happen in the world that we live in. But it's sad for me to watch that not only are women saying that they are statistically unhappy compared to men, but they also are showing that mental illness is a bigger factor in their lives. And while that might be the case, my plea and prayer to you today is that if this is you, if you are struggling with depression, anxiety, or anything else, that you are getting the help that you need and that you're not stuffing it in a box and saying it'll just be better tomorrow. We have to note the places where we can control our own personal levels of happiness and also where we need professional help. It doesn't get better when we shove it in a box. It gets better when we find resources and solutions that help us to work. Now, there is hope here. In addition to what we found that women are more likely to connect with others when seeking happiness. They want that sense of purpose with a spouse, with a friend, or even parents. They seek out connection and relationships when they want to have greater happiness in their lives. And that sense of connection is stronger for women than it is for men. That doesn't mean that one needs it more than the other. It just means that there are some external factors that people will look to bring their own happiness, and connection is big for women. While men may be able to build their own happiness reserves by quiet introspection or doing things on their own, the ways that we reach out and help each other can actually be really good for women who are on the same path, figuring out how to fulfill their dreams while also raising families and caring about their own personal pursuits and interests. These little statistics give us opportunities to pause and examine our own individual lives and to ask ourselves, what makes us truly happy? And am I spending time on things that bring me a sense of purpose? Or am I distracting myself because I'm seeking to numb or find a solution outside of my own personal challenges, rather than looking for the happiness and joy that is already existing within each of us. While there aren't hard and fast solutions to each person, because your challenges are going to be different than mine and your neighbors and the lady that you work with down the hall, my invitation and my plea to you today is that as a woman in this world who I know wants to be happier, because 87% of all respondents, male and female, said that they wanted to be happier than they currently are. Even if you're experiencing current levels of happiness in your own life, you probably would love to be happier. Who wouldn't? Decide today that you are in control of your own emotional wellness. Examine the individual micro stressors in your life and see where you can find a way to ease your burden so that you aren't feeling that type of stress. And don't sacrifice the things that bring you joy. If a sense of purpose has such a strong role in people's ability to feel happy each day, you need to work on daily, weekly, and monthly tasks that will help you feel like you're contributing to something greater, not just punching a clock and getting a paycheck. And yes, that is valuable and worthy, especially in an uncomfortable economic climate where we don't know what's going to happen next. Having that job is wonderful, but if it's not bringing you a sense of purpose, you need to find a sense of purpose elsewhere that will build those resilience reserves for you so that you have what you need to be able to offer individual interactions, your work, your home, and everywhere else in between. We can do better and we can help each other. What are you doing today? I encourage you to share in your comments below. What is helping you build your sense of purpose? What is helping you increase your overall daily happiness? What are the things that you do regularly to preserve your own emotional well-being so that you have the energy to care for the people around you? We can do this and we can do it together. And this is just the beginning of many great things. Wishing you all the best in your own personal and professional development and as you seek to find your own sense of purpose.